Think Future TV. My name is Chris Kalaboukis, and once again, we're coming at you live from deep, deep, deep in the heart of Silicon Valley, California. We're talking innovation, startups, the future, not necessarily those, not necessarily in that order. Sorry for the long delay between shows, but I've been on a bit of a vacation. Maybe I'll talk a little bit about it here in future shows, and maybe I won't. Who knows what will happen? Anyways, I've been listening to other podcasts out there. Tim Ferriss show had a gent on the other day who was talking about a book called 59 Seconds. And it was a very interesting book. I downloaded it and read it. Basically talked about the fact that all self-help is BS. And it doesn't really require, years and years of all sorts of therapy in order to change yourself. Basically, it'll take about 59 seconds. And then in those 59 seconds, he gives you like a few tips that will help you change yourself. Now, one of the things that annoys me about these kinds of books that are written by psychologists and psychiatrists is that a lot of times they try to define success based on changing your mindset about success so that, you don't feel so bad about where you're at. You kind of look at yourself and you look at your life and you look at where you've done and look at where you're going and you say to yourself, you know what? I guess I haven't done so badly. I guess things are okay. I'm not as unsuccessful as I thought I was. Well, I have a problem with that because basically what it does is it punctures all your ambition. Sort of takes the wind out of your sails because, do you really think you don't know what success is? Of course you know what success is. And if you're one of those people who think success is, multiple millions of dollars in the bank, huge homes, flying around in helicopters like Donald Trump, if you're one of those people who believes in that, then who is someone to tell you that that's not what success is? If you're building a startup, are you building a startup to change the world or are you building a startup to make a ton of money? Think of it this way. You're going to be successful based on what you really want. It's kind of like when you're making a decision on a number of different options and you decide not to pick the one you really want because of some issue, whether it's not you can't afford it or it's not going to be available on time or whatever. But then what happens is as you use the thing that you've decided to, let's give an example of cars, right? Let's say there's about 3 or 4 different kinds of cars that you want to buy. There's one that you really, really want, but it's slightly more expensive than what you can afford. And then there's others that are okay, but not quite there. So you settle for the other car. But then as you're driving this other car, you think to yourself, damn, you know what? I really should have got the one I wanted. It's going to gnaw at you and gnaw at you and gnaw at you. And you're going to eventually say to yourself, you know what? I really should have bought that other thing because that is what I really wanted. And it's the same with success. Decide what you really want and go for it. Don't let anybody come in there and tell you, well, you should just be happy with what you have. You're more successful than 99% of the people in the world. Yeah, but what if that's not enough? What if that's not enough for me? What if that's not enough for you? What if you want to be more successful? Don't let somebody try and convince you that you're okay where you are. Move forward, go for it. And one of the tips that I can help you with in actually building that success is thinking about how to motivate yourself. Now, one of the things I used to watch was, when I used to watch TV, was Restaurant Impossible, which is that show with Robert Irvine. He's this like really bulky chef from the UK, and he comes into failing restaurants and he turns them around, basically turns them into sort of photocopies of his own kinds of places. But one of the things that he does do in this show, and it's probably the same thing happens in a lot of these motivational programs, is that they come in and they yell at you, and they yell at you, and they yell at you, and they basically kick your butt, and they say, get off your ass, do this, do this, do this. It's kind of like being in the Marines. They just like yell at you and yell at you and yell at you, try to push you out of your comfort zone. And then once they push you out of your comfort zone, that's when change occurs. Because that's when change happens in one's life. Change happens in your life when something major happens. A lot of people don't lose weight or get on a weight loss program, a serious weight loss program, unless they've had sort of like a heart attack or their father has a heart attack or some other major thing happens in their life. The fact of the matter is, success in all things, whether it's you're starting a startup or you're building a business or whatever, requires butt kicking. Now, some people can kick their own butt. They have the discipline to be able to do that, but others can't. And if you can't, if you think that you're not as successful as you could be, then you need somebody come in there and kick your butt for you. Find a partner, find an advisor, find someone who can come in there and glue you to the seat, make sure that you're successful, push you and push you and push you, just like Robert Irvine and all these other people in Biggest Loser. It's the same thing. Push you out of your comfort zone. Force yourself to be successful. That's it for me for today. See you next time, and until then, don't forget to think future.